right.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Angelic View. I'm your host, Maria Maas, and I am coming to you live today from Southwest Florida. And did you know that the Angelic View is a show where we help you connect with angels so that you can live your best life? Well, if you didn't
So that
know,
you
now you know. Joining me today from Emporia, Virginia, is my wonderful co-host, Ginger. Hey,
Hi.
Ginger.
Good afternoon. This is Ginger, and I am joining you from this winter wonderland. Yesterday we had 70 plus degrees here in Virginia, and today it is fur coat weather. So I thought that it would be appropriate to pick a beautiful view of what a winter wonderland would look like. Right now it doesn't look like that out my window. But thank you all very much for joining. And Maria, we got a lot of things to talk to them about today.
Oh, don't we always? And I love that image. I love looking at snow, either pictures of it or from the outside, inside where you're all cozy looking at it. But you know what? I much prefer the winter weather in Southwest Florida. That's why we're here now, because I've had enough of snow and ice and cold. So, well, let's get going. We have there's a lot of people. I just want to say that I am trying today to be able to visit the chat room in between the live streaming of the show because anybody that knows who's been on previous weeks, they know I'm not the best at that. I am not the greatest multitasker, that's for sure. I like to focus on one thing at a time, which is either looking at the camera and talking to you or looking in the chat room and doing that and, reading something that's in the chat room and talking about things at the same time. It just makes me crazy, but I'm going to try my best to do that. I see a lot of people do it. They're very good at it. It's not one of my, not one of my talents. Let's just say that. But I'm pretty focused person, and that's how I basically like to work on one thing at a time. But I do have my hands always in a lot of different things. It just at separate times. So let's look at. I just want to, take a look in there. I want to say hi to Dan. Dan's always there supporting us. Dax.
Dan's always there supporting.
Why do I hear myself?
I don't know. Are you
I
good
don't
now?
know. No. That was funny. I heard myself talking back and I muted my computer, so I know that's not it. So Dan's there. He's always a big support. Jack's is there. He is the producer of the Psychic Cafe, Psychic Cafe network. And let's see, who else is there? Freedom. People use a lot of nicknames. Hi, Freedom. Yes, we are doing free readings here today. You just type your question in the chat. And, if you can put the little hand emoji to catch our attention, that would be helpful. And try not to retype your question. If you put it in once so that things don't get too crazy in there and we can keep track of everything. Let's see, who else do we have? We have Michelle. Hey, Michelle. Michelle is the lovely host of Michelle's Mystic Corner. And if you haven't checked out that show, you have to. Michelle does a fabulous job as a solo host. She's got it all down. She's in the chat. She's on there talking and about one thing and reading messages in the chat as another. Well, you know what? I do multitask somewhat because I do talk to the angels and my spirit guides. So I do have that going on. And so I guess, somewhat of a multitasker when it comes to that. So how about you, Ginger?
Working through things in 4D for sure. And I have something to share today. If we want to start out there. My store now has live packs of Maria's card deck. So this is how they come.
Surprise me.
Yeah. So this is going to be, and I figured I would just open it up with us all here and I would use one of these cards. So it's nicely shrink wrapped inside and you've got the bag that holds the cards when you're not using it. So this is a much more ecologically friendly solution than putting them in a big box. I like the big boxes too, but this is a nice way to do things. So I might have to can actually.
It's more cost effective too, because it helps me to be able to keep the price down on the deck, because everything that you add costs money. Everything costs money. Doing these shows costs money. So, you need to trim, the fat wherever you can. And I didn't feel a cardboard box was adding anything to the deck. I figured, well, get it shrink wrapped, you get the little bag, and that I just felt that was more economical as well as eco-friendly. And then there's a card inside there that has a link where you
There's the
can
first
download
card,
the guidebook.
and then there's another card. This one is all about the copyright, the fine print. She figured out a way to put the fine print in here. And then we have a card that's about this deck. And this is where she's saying that there is a link to her webpage. And there's a card in here about the author and how to use this card deck. And then we get into the actual cards themselves, which you all have had the opportunity to see them on this show one at a time. It's beautiful. I am loving it. And I'm going to love using it for some readings today.
Thank you. It's very simple and straightforward. Anyone can use it. You don't have to have any special training. It's a very easy, straightforward deck to use. And it's, the messages in there were channeled to me by the angels. When I put together this deck, I meditated, and these were the messages that I was guided to include. And the images, let me just speak about that for a moment. The images in the deck, some of the images were actual photographs that I took myself. And I listed on one of those information cards in the beginning exactly which ones they are. So you'll know which ones were the ones that I actually took myself. And then I didn't have a big enough library of my own images. So then I used stock imagery for the rest. But I tried to, I tried to choose the images that I felt delivered the message that was on the card and fit together with it, because I'm not an artist. I don't draw. I don't paint. I like to write. So if you want to think about it that way, in a way, I'm an artist when it comes to writing, because I really love writing. And I have my first book that I put out. I'm hoping to get another one out there. I have a couple of books that are like ready to go, but I still want to edit them a little further. And I kind of need help with cover design, because like I said, I'm not an artist. But this was my first book, Angel Practitioner Handbook, a Foundation Guide. And this is actually the revised edition, which is now available on Amazon and anywhere else you might buy books online. And it's also at Ginger's store.
It is. And it's probably somewhere here sitting at my desk too. So, I like to have reference things handy. I can always tune in directly to source wisdom and tap into the angelic frequencies to get answers. But sometimes I like to not have something specific. I just kind of want to go down the path and see where things lead me. And I've been working on some of those things lately. And when I'm ready to share, I will, but I'm not quite ready to share. And that tends to be something that different points in times in my life, I might go through a 6-month time period where I'm really working heavily with, the greater truths that are beyond planet Earth and this particular life experience. And it is something that I enjoy doing, but I find it best to handle that on a soul level and on a feeling level, and then begin to intellectualize it. And it's not until I get all the way through that I could even articulate verbally what it is that I'm working with. So do you work with spirit that way, Maria?
When I connect with spirit, I sometimes they connect with me before I even attempt to connect with them, and I'll sense, I'll hear like a few like succinct words maybe in my ear. Like suppose I'm driving somewhere and I'm not really sure. I'm looking around for a parking space or something like that, or I'm looking to avoid traffic in some way, and I'll hear, make a right turn here. Just something like that, very, very just to the point. Um, what I do when I try to connect with them is I have certain little prayers that I say in my mind to myself, or I'll just quick call upon Archangel Michael and ask him to bring me clarity, bring me guidance. I'll ask him to, preside over my readings and help me to get the messages that I need to hear, not if it's for myself or if it's for someone else. And that's basically how I do it. I do meditate from time to time. I don't meditate regularly, which I should. I used to do it more. Lately, I have been kind of slacking off with that. And I do notice a difference in the things that come to me intuitively. I notice that when I make a point of meditating on a regular basis, even if it's just for a few minutes a day, I notice that I'm much more in tune.
Yeah, I will, when I'm working on something specific, like I'm trying to figure out some more complex concept, I will at that point just I put it out there, and I will work on it sometimes 6 months, maybe longer, depending on how complex it is.
Mhm.
And I remember the first time I did this consciously was about the concepts of heaven and hell, and
Mhm.
that occupied probably about 18 months of my life while I was
Wow.
doing other things. I don't just I
You're
don't have the
always doing
luxury.
other things.
I know I don't have the luxury with my life to just like go into, but there's a part of me that's like, wow, what it would be like to be a monk and be able to just like do nothing but commune with spirit 24/7 for,
That was a
I could
little
probably
much.
have accomplished all that. It took me 18 months, but I probably could have done it in a month if I had been able to just be completely by myself. Because even though, that's working on the subconscious and the back burner, it's still, you're still kind of working through those things while you're doing life. And I think we talked about this before. Personally, one of my big things for tapping into angelic guidance, especially when it's something big, not something simple, is when I'm working. So I will find myself doing things, cleaning out a closet, or cleaning out the refrigerator, or those things that don't take a lot of intellect while you're doing them. It gives my intellect a chance to work on other things. So that's sort of how I do it. I've worked on. I actually have a card deck that I put together for one of my girlfriends that she was going to publish, but she wasn't ever able to find the right printer. So after we had talked the other day, Maria, I was like, I need to give
Mhm.
April a call and fill her in on this, see if that's something that she's ready to do yet. So it's great to see everybody joining. And Maria, would you like to? Let's go ahead and start with a couple of readings, and then we'll dive into what we've
Yeah,
going on for the month of March, and then come back to the readings. How
yeah,
does that sound?
that sounds like a good idea. I'm going to scroll back to the top here and see if I could find the first question. Let's see. And folks, if you're going to ask for a free mini reading, if you could put the little hand emoji with your question, that helps us to be able to find your question as we're scrolling through. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Michelle. Michelle, thanks, Dan. They love the deck too. They're saying Dan said about the Angelic View Oracle cards. He says every card is self-explanatory. It's awesome for beginners or the more seasoned reader. Thanks, Dan and Michelle. They each got a copy of my deck. Um, uh, Dan says something about the closed caption that's going on. I noticed that too, and I didn't turn that on, so I don't know why that's on, but I guess it can't hurt. Closed caption going on the screen. Maybe it's something Dax set up, or I don't know. as long as it's not bothering anyone. Okay, so let's see. Dan, okay, Dan, still looking for questions here. Oh, there's Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Thank you for joining us today. Yes, I'm well. I hope you're well too. Hi, Christine. Let's see. I'm not seeing questions, folks. So somebody here, Mary Poppins has just popped in. And she says, "Hey, ladies, nice to meet you both." And she says, a general question if drawn. Okay, so she wants a general, she would like a general reading, a general, or
All right.
whether it be psychic, tarot, angels. Let's get a message from the angels. You want to go first?
Sure. Let's go ahead and do a general reading for Mary Poppins first, and we'll
I
do
like that name.
I do too. I think that's great. All right. So general reading, Mary Poppins. So the card that I got was the education card. And what this specifically says is it's never too late to learn something new. So I think that that's an opportunity to take opportunity, look and see what is available. And if there's something that strikes your interest, it's never too late. And it kind of goes into what we were talking about earlier, really. It fits very nicely with exploring those things that you may not have the normally have the time to do, to just take some time and invest in yourself from a time and possibly even from an expense perspective. We do have the Certified Angel Practitioners course. There's also a course on the stuff that I'm talking about, which we call the Spiritual Freedom Series. And there's a mini course on that as well. So there's lots of opportunities. And as a matter of fact, this Thursday, the WOW workshop is going to be focusing on the second chakra root, and I will be happy to share the link to that course in the chat. And that's going to be on Thursday at 8. They start at 8 o'clock to regroup what they did last month. And then there's a 1 hour that's from 8:30 to 9:30. You can pre-register, and you can also just do that in the Facebook event. That's what, and the link is actually in the Facebook event to be able to join on Thursday. So I will be there. I will probably be there from the airport because I'm actually flying out on Thursday. I have a long day. I'm going to be out and back to Dallas in a day. So that's always fun and exciting. And I'm going to post the link in here to the Facebook event. There you go. So that's an opportunity, an easy opportunity for to learn something new. Maria, do you have something else for Mary Poppins?
Yes, very quickly for Mary Poppins, from my deck, the Angelic View Oracle cards, I pulled the Guardian Angel card. And this is reminding you that you are never alone. So even at times when you feel like maybe there isn't anyone to give you that moral or emotional support, know that you do have an invisible support team. Your angels are always there, especially your guardian angel has been with you through every lifetime, not just this lifetime on earth, through every lifetime. This guardian angel knows your soul and what your soul needs to grow and develop, knows better than anyone else could possibly, knows you better than you know yourself, knows what you need. And you need to connect with your guardian angel a bit more. I actually have a meditation, a guided meditation that I wrote and recorded. It's available through my website. My website has, if you go to mariagmaas.com and you go to the upper right-hand corner, there's a thing that says register or log in. If you register through my site, you will have access to a special members only area, and you will find a free download of the guided meditation about connecting with your guardian angel. So I would recommend that. I do feel like you can be a bit of a social butterfly at times, but I feel like other times, just like a butterfly, What they start out as caterpillars and they're in a cocoon. So I feel like it's kind of a reverse process where you might be social some days and other days you kind of like just go back into your little cocoon for some reason. So there may be something with the chakras that need some balancing going on there. So that's just what I'm getting, like kind of intuitively, psychically, what's coming to me. But connect with your guardian angel more.
Okay. And do you want to go first with a general reading for Christine?
Sure. Why not? Let's see now. Where is that one at? I see. Okay, I have to scroll back now. I see Mary Poppins.
Christine Hallowell just said I would love a general reading.
General reading. Okay. Oh yes, I see it now. Okay. Okay, Christine, this one's for you now. Going to ask my angels and spirit guides to now connect with Christine Hallowell's angels and spirit guides. Please help me to see, hear, feel, or know whatever she most needs to know that's in her highest good. Okay. She got the card of potential. Okay. The card of potential. And it says the past cannot be changed, but the future is full of possibilities. So perhaps you have a tendency to dwell on the past at times. And the angels are telling you always, pay attention, be in the now. And if you're going to look ahead, that's not a bad idea. You don't want to be too far in the future and dwelling too much on the past. We want to kind of try and be in the present, but know that there is so much potential. The past is done. We can't go back and redo it, but the future can be molded into the direction that we want to go. So remember that there is potential. So the angels are guiding you. Follow your intuition and your gut feelings towards the things that you feel drawn to. And remember, God wouldn't put a desire in your heart, okay, if you didn't have the potential and the capacity to be able to achieve it. So I hope that helps, Christine.
And Christine, I pulled a card for you that says creative activities. So this says spending time on creative activities can help to calm the mind, body, and spirit. So spend some time. This to me is exactly what I was talking about before, where you're doing something physically, but it gives your brain and your soul an opportunity to reach out in the subconscious and to be connected to the angels at the same time that you're doing something too. That you can have and to hold. I mean, I love the adult coloring books personally. I think that's a lot of fun. The next one that I wanted to address is Tanita says she'd appreciate a general message from Spirit, please.
Okay.
And I pulled out a different card deck to just add a little bit of variety.
Okay. I got hope and faith from the Angelic View Oracle cards, okay, for Tanita. It says, during difficult times, call upon us to boost your faith so that you can feel hopeful about the future. So, as much as we believe in our angels and our spirit guides and other higher, maybe Mother Mary, I don't know. It depends on what your background is and the higher power that you feel connected with the most. We life happens, and sometimes we're human. We may feel like, okay, you know what, things are just not been going great lately, and matter of fact, they've been pretty lousy, and I feel like I'm just like being left flat right now. I don't know. Do I really have any am I just fooling myself? Are my angels really there helping me out? If so, why are things not happening in in the way that I want them to happen? There's all kinds of things that we could ask ourselves and talk ourselves out of it. But when we start to lose that trust, we can ask our angels to help boost our hope, help boost our faith, help us to feel connected and not feel that we're lost and just swimming out in this ocean with no support. Ask them to help buoy your faith, and believe me, they will help, and something will happen that will click with you, and you'll feel again that you have that support, and you'll feel a lot better.
So the card that I picked for you, Tanita, is the emergence of hope. So we're both on the same track as hope. And what it's saying here in the small print at the top is faith, trusting in a divine plan, all is well, and patience. So
Mm.
there you go. That's what I got for you. The next one is Freedom is asking for a reading related to her romantic relationship.
Okay.
And I have a card here. And this is from the Guides of the Hidden Realms is the deck that I'm using, this deck that
Mhm.
I'm using today.
Mhm.
This one says, holding space for love, non-judgment, discernment, and self-acceptance. And what I'm picking up from the angelic realm with that freedom is that this is actually a message to your romantic partner, that this holding space for love for you and for them to be in a place of non-judgment and their own self-acceptance, that it is by better enabling their love for themselves, they'll be able to enter into a deeper relationship with you. So it's unusual for me to get that kind of a reading, kind of a little bit different. Maria, do you have something to add?
Yes, what I got was all is well. Okay. So what they're saying is troubled waters are now behind you, keep moving forward. So if relationships haven't worked out in the past, trust that the right person is out there for you. Okay. You have to have that trust and you have to ask your angels to help lead you to the person that's going to help fulfill your needs the most. Okay, because like I said earlier, our angels, especially your guardian angel, knows you better than you know yourself, and they know what's best for you. So if you trust their guidance, they will help lead you to the person that's right for you. Okay, so if things haven't worked out in the past, know that all is well. Okay, and we mentioned earlier about um, divine timing when it's things happening at the right and being in the right place at the right time. That's one of the things that our angels are fantastic at helping us with. So, for example, you can call. There's two archangels that come to mind that you can call upon for help with this. One of them is Archangel Raphael, whose name means healing of God, and Archangel Raphael does not just help with physical healing, can help with emotional healing, past hurts, things like that, that you may be bringing baggage along with you. And, it's attracting more of the same. So you can ask this Archangel to help also heal relationships. Okay. And then you also have another Archangel that's named that starts with an R. It's Raguel, Raguel, Raguel. And this archangel's name means friend of God. And this archangel can help you to find a person that is going to be, that's going to click with you. Okay. It's going to be somebody that you can really look into. And you have Archangel Shamuel, who is also very good at helping us find things. Name means eyes of God. And this archangel can help you find your soulmate. And by the way, a soulmate doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic partner, a romantic relationship. It could also be just someone that is very important in your life to help you to grow and develop. And soulmates can come and go throughout our lives and help us at different times. So, there's a lot going on here, but just trust that all is well and the right person is going to come to you at the right time.
Okay. The next one, we've got a question from Lisa Meyer who says, I've heard you can tell if someone is your soulmate by their birthdays. Is there any truth to this? And are there any certain pairings that you like or dislike?
I think that's more of a question for an astrologer. I
So
do.
what is your take on astrology?
My take is that astrology has a lot that it can tell us. I have studied it briefly in the past. There's a lot to it, but I think that if you were to go to a good astrologer, they could really answer a question like that for you, and they could lead you. They could help guide you in the direction of the time, the place, and the type of person that would be a great match for you. Because just like numerology and the energy of numbers, the stars in the sky, the stars, the planets, all the energy that goes on between all of these things in the heavens, and we have something called a natal chart, which, if you just read a regular a zodiac horoscope, that's very generalized. But if you get something that's based on your natal chart from a good astrologer, you're going to find that, wow, there really are connections here. So wherever the stars and the planets were lined up at the at the exact date and time and the place, the city of your birth, it's like one big snapshot of the sky at that time, and how those energies affect you. And then these energies are constantly affecting us because everything is constantly moving in the cosmos. And it causes different vibrations at different times. And if you don't believe any of this, just think about how the phases of the moon affect people. How does it affects the oceans? It affects the animals. It affects the fish. Our bodies are made up of water, and that gravitational pull from the moon. So these things do affect
the Russian news report.
I'm not sure what we're hearing. Anyway, I do think that I enjoy working with astrologers. It is not just that I've spent a lot of time with. I sort of view astrology as being the ultimate universal cosmic clock. I also have a feeling that the astrological clock will be off on the majority of this generation, the generation being born now. There's so much human intervention with, where people go in and are induced into labor. And there's just a lot of things that I'm not sure that it's as accurate as it might have been when things were more natural. So thank you very much for your question, Lisa. I appreciate the opportunity to kind of talk through this a little bit. And, one of the things that I would say is, you can tell if someone is your soulmate by their birthday. Hopefully their birthday occurs within your lifetime. And that's a good way to tell that they're your soulmate for this lifetime. Occasionally you'll have an interconnection with someone who you can tell that you were in a relationship with this person previously. The connection is there, that soul level understanding that doesn't make intellectual sense. And I always find that fascinating when it happens to me. And I agree, Maria, that oftentimes those that are soulmates or in your soul family, if you will, are not necessarily the ones that are your romantic partners. Some of those relationships far surpass the importance of some of our romantic pairings. So Dan's asking for a general reading. Do you want to go first?
Sure. Dan. Let's see what we have for Dan. What do the angels want Dan to know at this time? That's in his highest good. Let's see. This card doesn't come up very often. It's one of my favorite cards too in the deck. It's about animals, and it's about spending time with animals. What I wrote on the card here, it says spending time with animals will raise your positive vibrations, allowing you to become more receptive to the voice of your angels. It has many benefits for the body, mind, and spirit. So Dan, get out there, spend time with animals, spend more time with your pets. Lord knows our pets are highly intuitive. And anybody that has a pet, any pet owner, whether you have a dog or cat or some other type of pet, animals, just spending time with them, it's very, very healing in so many ways. They can calm us down. They can literally lower our blood pressure. They are so intuitive. That you could communicate with your own animals. You just look at each other and you look in their eyes, and you know what they want, and they know what you want, and It's just it's a way to really tune in to your inner GPS, to your soul's GPS, because animals are so highly intuitive. So the more time you're going to spend with your animals, the more you're going to enhance your own intuition.
And Dan, I pulled 2 cards for you out of the Angelic Connections card deck that Maria, I know I'll have to look at
It's the Angelic View Oracle cards.
Angelic View Oracle cards. I pulled Archangel Gabriel. So you have the love and support of the angelic community. And then out of the hidden realms, I picked Serenity out of exile. And my interpretation of this is it says exhale, surrender, radical acceptance. And I think that it is, you have an opportunity right now with all that you're working with and through to have that true breakthrough of, that can sometimes take multiple lifetimes for the soul's evolution. So Dan, you're right there on the precipice of some breakthrough. I don't have any specifics on what that breakthrough is. So our next question is from Charlotte, who says, I don't like to bring politics into this place, but after Friday's disgrace in the Oval Office, do we as a nation need to be worried? And
I don't want to even talk about this. That's negative.
I pulled 2 cards, so I'm going to share them. The first card I pulled is prayers.
That's a good card.
And this says, we hear your thoughts and prayers. We are working behind the scenes on your behalf right now.
There you go.
The second card, the second card that I pulled is this and that are true. Open-mindedness, perspective, nuance, and complexity. So I think that both of those are very appropriate for that situation. And we will wait to see how things unfold.
I keep praying on all of them.
I have a friend who says the ruins are in the air. We can't tell more at this point in time. There's too many variables.
There are lots of them.
Craft Hoarder says, what do my angels have to say to me this month?
Where am I at now?
Craft Hoarder, love the name. What do my angels have to say to me this month?
I don't even see that name on here. Just looking to see where we're at. Okay.
So what I picked up is a card that says a call to transformation. Metamorphosis in the in-between. So that's an interesting concept to be working with that is, that understanding that while we are what we are, we're always in the process of change and having that opportunity to become what we will be. And that I will actually be teaching a workshop in the month of April on that concept of the challenges of change and being able to be fully who you are without resistance to who you will become is something that's very exciting and interesting to me as a concept. So Craft Hoarder, interesting. I will be, please feel free to private message me. I'd love to know what it is that you're going through, because I think that card is particularly interesting to me.
That's funny. I don't even see that person's name on here. I'm looking and I don't see them.
It's okay. Do you want to do a reading?
I'm going to keep going on. I think we should go to the next one because we are it's 2:40 p.m. So we have about 20 minutes left of the show. I do want to mention before we go into anything else that if you haven't heard about it, we have a brand new community called the Angelic Connections Community. And it's a spinoff of the International Association of Angel Practitioners combined with the Way Showers Community Fellowship. which is an organization that Ginger is the president of. And I am the president of the International Association of Angel Practitioners, the IAAP, which we just had our 10-year anniversary we celebrated last month. So if you saw our last show, we spoke all about that. The IAAP is an organization that was formed to educate, support, and celebrate spiritual practitioners from around the globe. Anybody that works with angels, we want to support at the International Association of Angel Practitioners. Through that, the IAAP is not only one of our show's sponsors, but they are also the sponsor of the Angel Practitioner Academy. And that's now where the Certified Angel Practitioner course is being housed. That course was originally created for the IAAP back in 2015 and has since been revised. And I have it's on a new platform, and it's totally online now. But part of the live mentoring and support that goes on with that comes with the course is through the Angelic Connections Community. So here you have 3 organizations that have decades of experience of working with people with helping them with their spiritual development, helping spiritual entrepreneurs, and all sorts of things of that nature. So we are now offering for the Angelic Connections Community free membership for those of you who are viewers of our show, The Angelic View. So all you have to do, if you'd like to join us and see the kind of things that we get together and talk about, and this is all privately, this is not aired publicly like the show. If you go to my website, mariagmaas.com, you will see something that says Angelic Connections Community. There's a button right on there. And if you click that, it'll take you to a page that tells you all about it. And then there's a button that says buy, and it says $144. But if you don't have to pay that, you will get it completely for free for at least 3 months, maybe even a little longer. And all you have to do is put in the coupon code Angelic View. So I do have that typed up, and I'm going to copy and paste that into the chat room right now, so I don't have to retype it. Just give me a second here. Let me grab that. And let's see if it fits in here, because I know it only allows you a certain amount of characters. There, I think it will fit. Let's try that. Yes, it's in there. Okay, so Angelic Connections Community, free with the coupon code Angelic View. I've now entered it into the chat room, so check that out. We'd love for you to join us. We are having our next live meeting on Saturday, March 22nd.
22nd.
March 22nd at 12 noon. High noon, and that's Eastern time. So depending on where you're located, it's Eastern time. And we're going to have another discussion. It's going to be via Zoom. Okay, once you join and you check the portal, we have a portal and we have a private group, and it's only for people that are members. And then I also will send that an email a few days before with a reminder and the Zoom link, or Ginger will send that out. One of us will send it out. So get in there. And our last meeting was a very interesting meeting. We ended up talking about, we did a practical exercise called the Magic Eye, which is a way to help illustrate the shift that psychics make when they're making that connection and they're tuning in psychically. So we did a little exercise with that. But the idea of the community is to help support you in your spiritual growth and development, support you if whether you are a novice, whether you're just somebody that just wants it for their own personal development, whether you are a spiritual entrepreneur and you need that extra support from other people who are in that line of work, okay, all sorts of things. So we have something very nice planned for our next meeting, and I don't want to give it away now. You'll just have to come and find out what it is. So just go to Here's another link. You can go to angelpractitioneracademy.thinkific.com, but I think it's easier to remember mariagmaas.com, MariaGMAAS.com. Look for Angelic Connections Community. It's right on the homepage with buttons to everything that we ever talk about here. Just click on that. Use the code Angelic View, all one word, ANGELICVIEW. Okay, so now we can go to the next thing.
We have a few more people.
Yes.
So Kiko Watt says, I would like to have a message about my work.
And who is this for now?
Kiko Watt. Sorry about that.
I think I saw, I did see that name. Here we go. Yeah. Kiko Watt. Okay, so wants to have a message about work.
So
and about 444. She's talking about
no, that's part of her username.
Oh, that's part of the username. Okay. All right. That they were seeing that number. The message about work. Okay.
So from the Angelic View deck, I pulled career transition. That's pretty straightforward. Perfect. I did. Pretty straightforward. It says now is a good time for new job opportunities, career growth, and change.
Wow.
So every once in a while, those windows open and it looks like you've got an opportunity right now. I like to work with the energy as it's flowing. You can always make changes and you have free will. You can do whatever you want. But occasionally the universal energy is in alignment with taking those changes and those chances. It'll be a little bit smoother when that energy is in alignment. So that's what I pulled. How about you, Maria?
That's awesome. I pulled the card of intuition from the Angelic View Oracle cards. And you can see the woman here and she's contemplating, she's thinking, and there's her angel right there behind her in the background. And this card, actually, I wrote quite a bit on here. So let me read to you what I wrote on this card. It says, your guardian angel often speaks to you through your intuitive senses. Pay attention to recurring gut feelings or tingling sensations. These bring with them a sense of calm when you're on the right track, or a sense of uneasiness when you need to modify a decision or action. So that's how you can kind of work with your intuition, with your guardian angel. And if you'd like to dive deeper into that and learn how to listen to your guardian angel and how to connect with them intuitively, if you check out the Certified Angel Practitioner course, it's not just for people who want to become certified practitioners. That's completely optional. It's for anyone that wants to bring the angels into their life and work. And there are some specific exercises that I teach in that course of how to work with your intuition. So follow your gut regarding your career moves.
All right. So we have one here where someone is asking about buying a house. Like I saw it. Looking for the user again.
Okay. And who is this one for?
That's what I just said. I'm looking for
the
username. Okay. I see. I scroll up and I find things, and then.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. About buying a house. Yeah, I like to know the name when I'm doing that. It helps me to tune into that person. Even if it's a nickname, it doesn't matter. I like to look at the name on the screen and just kind of focus on that person. Oh, it's Oriole Grace. I know Oriole Grace. Hi, Oriole Grace. She has her own show. Okay, hi. She says, hiya, ladies. I want to buy a house this year. What do the angels have for guidance on that? That's for Oriole Grace.
There you go.
Okay. Yes, for Oriole. Oh, you got the card of prayers this time, Oriole. Okay, well, that's a good thing, though. The angels are saying, we hear your thoughts and prayers. We are working behind the scenes on your behalf right now. So I have to tell a little personal story now with this. Okay, Oriole. When my husband and I were house hunting many years ago for our first home, we were hunting for this house, for the house, it took us about good 2 full years before we found the right house for us. During that time, there was like 3 times that we were actually almost, going to be going to contract on houses, and something literally would happen at the very last minute to have us be able to walk away from the deal. And we found out, at first you're disappointed, but what was I asking for? I was praying and I was asking God, I was asking my angels to help guide us to the right house where we were going to be the happiest together. Okay. And the house that was right for us. I said, please don't let me just get the house that I fall in love with. If it's not going to be the right one for us, where we're going to be the happiest. And 3 deals fell through. And, of course I'm upset at the time, but it doesn't matter because the angels know better than I know what's good for us. And the one that we got, when I think back, we ended up living in it for 16 years. And we were very, very happy there. And many times my husband and I spoke about this together, and we said, I'm so glad that those other deals fell through, because in hindsight, when we know, because we knew the houses and where they were, we wouldn't have been happy there. We wouldn't probably not stayed the 16 years that we did. So just keep praying, ask your angels for the guidance, and ask them not to let you get something just because you wanted to fall in love with it. Let you get the house or the home, or whatever kind of home it is, even if it's an apartment, whatever, where you're going to be the happiest.
And the card that I got actually doubles down on what Maria was just sharing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the angel number 666. And it says that repetitive patterns of 666 are a sign that your thoughts are out of balance and you're focused too much on material wants. Focus on your spiritual life and have faith and trust that God will provide what you need. So very much in alignment with what Maria was saying. So just when you're building your list of how you're going to grade and judge your future house that you're looking for, make sure that you include some of those soft wants, whether it's a beautiful front yard or flowers or a place for flowers. It doesn't even necessarily have to be that they're there now. Whatever it is that, speaks to your heart, and not just your head. So bring those 2 things in balance and you'll make better decisions.
And I just want to throw out there, folks, Oriel Grace has her own show. It's called A Spiritual Show. She's also on YouTube, so check her out. A Spiritual Show.
So I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Kirthana says, hey, will I get my dream job?
Okay. Will I get my dream job? Well, I don't like to say yes or no to anything because, the future's not written in stone, and you want to, let's see what we have. So we'll go with it anyway. Creative. Okay. Well, I got the card of creative activities. Okay. So spending time on creative activities can help calm the body, mind, and spirit. And you can take this one of 2 ways. You can take it, well, does your dream job involve doing something creative? If it is, then I would say this is a green light to go ahead with that. Okay. If not, I would say this is a hint to do something creative. And this person here, it looks like they're coloring in a mandala. Okay. Get a little coloring book, do some quiet meditation, ask your angels for guidance, help clear your mind. This is a form of meditation when you're doing something creative with your hands. Okay, so do some creative activity, and that will help lead you towards ideas that seem to come from out of the blue that will lead you towards something that's going to be very fulfilling. However, if it is something creative, you're on the right track. Keep going.
Okay, what I picked up, very, very interesting card for the situation. The card says the burden of choice. And the fine print says choosing higher ground consequences unconscious choice making. So it looks like you're going to be having some choices. So you'll have to let us know how it pans out, whether what you thought was your dream job is your dream job. And I think that it's going to be a little bit more complicated than a yes/no answer. So that's what I'm picking up on.
Wonderful.
So I am trying to figure something out. So Melissa was asking some questions, and I would love to be able to speak more clearly to what those are. It seemed like her questions had to do with how do you know, how do we feel confident in what we believe as far as the conversations with angels and spirit are concerned. And Melissa, I definitely would encourage you can private message me. I'll send you the links. I don't have my promo links handy right now, which I will definitely have in our next, for our next show. But going through that, we call it a lecture series where it really talks through the concepts of the universe and society, and how all of these things fit, and why are we really here? Why are we really here as human beings? And it's very, very interesting to me. And I have always known two-way communication with spirit. That is something that even as a very small child, my faith has always been very strong because of my personal experiences. And I think that when you have those personal experiences and you are able to see the validation and be able to provide readings and interpretations for people that you haven't ever met, and that they feel that what you're saying is in alignment with what they are thinking. To me, that's what it's about. It's about going to that higher level rather than just very basic intellectual conversation, to look for the nuances. I think that was one of the cards I was reading, something about the nuances. And I think that things are more complicated. And I like that. I like the diversity. I like the complexity. I love that you can take an approach that has a kind of a numerological basis or an astrological basis or an angelic view. And as you're going through these various modalities, you keep getting the same answers, things align. And there are many different ways, Wayshores Community Fellowship as an organization has the charter, if you will, to grow spiritual unity by respecting and celebrating religious diversity. And to me, the difference between religion and spirituality is religion is the details and spirituality is the big picture. And while the details may change, and different religions have different details that are, interesting and beautiful and unique. And I think that that's fabulous. But when you look past the specifics into the more general feeling that's being communicated within the various religions, that's when you get to that spirituality. And there is so much more commonality in the spiritual traditions, and similarly in what you might call a psychic modality. There's a lot more commonality than there are differences. And that's one of the things that keeps bringing me back to, it's wonderful to hear how other people have experienced these things. As far as our angels real, Maria and I will both tell you absolutely. So at a high level, if that was what your question was, absolutely. If you want to get into, the finer details of how to connect to your angels and how to integrate an angelic practice, that is really what that Angelic Connections Community is all about. We're looking to support each other, share with each other, celebrate, because there's something so cool about getting a very specific message and having it pan out in real life.
Yeah.
And to be able to share that with other people who have a belief system towards angels, and being able to say, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe what this angel shared with me, and then this is what happened, and it's cool, it's great. Come on in,
Right.
the water's fine. So as Maria was saying, everything is very clear on her front page of her website, which is Maria G Maas. It's in the chat, as well as looking at the Angelic Communications Connections Community. And we have a free coupon code that's Angelic View. That's also in the chat already. And we will be back in a couple of weeks and counting down to our next live event, which will be on March 22nd. Maria, do you have anything else to say in closing?
Yes, I'm so looking forward to that. And as you was talking, I was looking through the comments that folks put in the chat room based on the readings. And I just, like to point out a few of them, what people were saying. And let's see. Lisa said, Lisa said, I heard, no, wait, no, that was a question she had. Lisa said, thanks for your input, ladies. Then we had Charlotte that says, thank you, Ginger. That issue weighs so heavily on me at the moment. It's almost paralyzing. And these were, all the comments that people made regarding the readings that we've done. Let's see what else. Who else we have? Ginger Maria, thanks for the reading. When you said a message to your partner and talked about self-acceptance and non-judgment, it's really right. She's in prison now. Let's see. Craft Water said, thank you, Ginger. That resonates very much right now. Thank you. Let's see who else. We got others on here too. Kiko Watt says, I use intuition all the time, and I'm thinking to change from just doing the reading to teaching. Both of you are spot on.
Yeah, I wanted to say when you decide to, you have something to share about specifics with your classes, reach out to either Maria or I'd love to have you on the show.
That would be great. It really would. And we're thinking about doing that now for the members of the Angelic Connections community. We're thinking about offering a Zoom link when we do the live show, so you actually can be on here with us, and then we could do the readings or answer your questions. We could actually see each other. That would kind of be fun. So we're thinking about doing that for our members. Okay. And Oriel Grace says, thanks, ladies. She says, I think I have frustrated my mom and real estate agent by saying no all the time. All right. Well, you got to follow, you got to follow your angels and your intuition on these things.
It only takes one yes, right?
Yeah.
Remind your mom that.
Right. Okay. Dan says, ladies are so awesome. Okay. Michelle says, how fun. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. This really was a fun time here getting together with all of you. And I really do hope that you're going to take this opportunity to join the Angelic Connections community and see that. That's very different from the show that we do. It's a whole different experience. And it's not recorded. It's not going to be out there and put in public. It's totally just whoever, is there for that time, and then it's gone. Okay, so check that out. And we looking forward to that.
Don't forget the WOW workshop this Thursday. I put the link for I think if I hit paste, it's still there. Yep. There you go. We'll end the show with another link for the event, and it is free the first time. So come on in. It's really a great group of people and a wonderful opportunity. And we will be working through the chakra systems. We're on our second chakra system, the second chakra center, which is actually for everybody else the first. So we'll see you on Thursday to talk more about that.
And then our next show will be on Sunday, March 16th, I believe. Let's check that calendar.
It is Sunday, March 16th.
There we go. Sunday, March 16th. at live at 2 p.m. Eastern. We will return. And even if we pre-record, we'll be live in the chat room with you to answer your questions in the chat and do free mini readings and angel messages. So even if we pre-record, we'll still be live in the chat when it airs Sunday, March 16th, live at 2 p.m. Eastern. So until then, we wish you all angel blessings.
Bye.